And I don't see why he's that important, because anyone that dies while they're pooping, they had to have been full of shit to begin with, Dickie.
It's true. And look, you talk to people who are fans of Elvis, and you can hear the fog oozing out of their mouths, because they'll say what you just said. They'll say he made girls faint, you know, because you see it on the TV. He made girls faint sometimes. They'll say, oh, because he was so good and so handsome, he made the girls faint. No, it was a magic spell, Satan's spell. You don't make girls faint by being handsome, you know?
I've never made a woman faint my entire life. Yeah. I'm very handsome.
Yeah, if anyone could do it, it'd be you, Mr. Briggs.
So good-looking man.
But, you know, you don't make women faint moving the hips, at least not right to left. When you take the left-hand path, as you say, and you put Satan into your hips, and you put Satan into your voice, and then you put Satan into your wink, you make the girls faint. Not to mention he was in black and white, which is a classic brainwashing scheme. Put any video in black and white and everyone will believe everything.
Everything is done.
Been proven 100 times, 1,000 times.
You go and you look at probably what I base the majority of my career off of in terms of film would be Forrest Gump. And when Elvis comes in, he starts to live with little Forrest, and he teaches him how to dance. Even then, in a film with a young boy being portrayed as his character, you could see that just by the suggestion of the hips, this puts Forrest on a downward spiral. He joins the military. He fights in Vietnam. He invests in the Apple computers, which kick-started this whole new wave of globalist socialist propaganda that we are now dealing with today. So even when the film, based in factuality, based in reality, is actually all lies and gobbledygook. Now, the Beatles, their career, as we all know, went nowhere. John's dead, Paul's dead and alive. Ringo, George, and Ginga, the three of them disappeared, went missing for 45 years. Up until now, we still have no idea where any of them are at. I, however, think that when you look at pictures of the moon, there's the man's face on the moon.
Yeah.
All right, now what I think that is, that's Elvis, and that's George and Paul and Ginga. And these guys, you know, they died on the moon, but then they got sent back through the left-hand path. The moon is a satanic temple that we have to destroy.
Yeah. Hashtag destroy the moon.
Hashtag destroy the moon. Hashtag truth. Hashtag
fog clearers.
Fog clears.
Yeah. Okay, we shouldn't have brought up the Beatles because we're going to be here all day. But you mentioned Forrest Gump, okay? Now, Forrest Gump, it's a web of lies on the surface, I'm telling you. Mm-hmm. But there are some hints hidden in there by the director, Swimming Timmy. It's plain to see if you look at the movie, okay? What does Forrest do? He represents all of us, not me and you, Mr. Bricks, but all these other people fooled into the socialist way of life. And he meets Elvis, and he just, you know, falls right into teaching him how to dance, you know, which ends up him being on the left-hand Satanist moon temple path. And then what does he do next? Oh, he reports on Watergate, you know, because, Watergate, like I said, was perpetrated by famous football player Richard Dick Nixon, and then he meets John F. Kennedy. We all know what happened to him. Went for a car ride in the desert and never came home. And then later, what does he do? He meets John Lennon and he writes a song for him. Imagine this, imagine that, imagine all your bills paid and the state controls everything. Mm-hmm. You know, no surprise that they're trying to tell you we own you.
The Moon Temple is being controlled by the shadow puppet government with the frozen bodies of Elvis, John Paul, George, Ringo, Ginga, and as well as Richard Dick Nixon and the ghost spectral form of JFK. The car is on the moon. You zoom in and you see a blood splattered front seat, and you see John in the back seat, and he's still alive, somehow clinging on. The gravity on the moon has somehow been able to put his body in a stasis, to where the satanic means of living have cornered him into becoming some godlike entity of the moon. Hashtag moon god. Hashtag destroy the moon.
Hashtag fog clearers. Hashtag Moon God, hashtag destroy the moon. Okay, so on the moon, that leads me to a more popular conspiracy theory topic, often covered. All these amateur conspiracy theorists look at the moon landing footage and they say, hey, well, they filmed the moon landing. We never went to the moon. Oh, wow, look at us. We're so smart. Nope, sorry, boys, still some fog there. Allow us to clear it. Okay. So we went to the moon, okay? Because that's just science, I'm a man of science,
We got my Nissan Altima.
Yeah, I don't. We got cars. We got all this. I love my TV, so I love science. All right, and we did go to the moon. Problem is, what's in the background when we're on the moon? Earth. That's the part they staged. That's the part that was made up. We were on the moon, but they needed an Earth in the background, and that's what's fake. There's a fake Earth,
yes, sir,
floating around out there.
You're getting it now.
And nobody's doing a damn thing about a whole fake Earth out there. Bunch of paid stunt actors living on it, try to pretend they're us. And where it gets really troubling is you got to think to yourself, okay? And this is where you got to question your whole reality. You got to really think like this if you want to find out what is fog and what isn't, what needs to be cleared. This is what you have to ask yourself. Are we on the real original Earth, or are we paid stunt actors for the fake Earth, for the 1969 moon landing?
Dickie, I've got some evidence today that's going to blow your mind. Let me pull out this book.
Wow.
437,000 pages of Mr. Jones's top secret information. Now, I'm just going to randomly open up to a chapter called Moon. What Alex has written down in this journal is going to be a little extreme for some of our listeners. It's going to kind of expound upon Dickie's thought process here about hashtag fake Earth, real moon.
Hashtag do we live on a stunt Earth?
You look at pictures of the Earth from 450 years ago. It's round, it's blue, but the continents are a little bit closer together. You look at a picture of today's Earth. Continents a little bit more spread out. How does that happen? Oh, well, the water, it kind of erodes down on mountainsides, and eventually, these continents begin to split apart over hundreds of thousands of years of erosion. That's bullshit.
I know everything.
Yes.
Can I have a degree now? Can I have a PhD?
Yeah, see, and the thing about PhDs, back to the acronyms, PhD stands for Pussies Hate Dicks. And I'm not talking about you, Dickie. Pussies love you.
Oh, thank you, sir.
I know. He's still a virgin, ladies. So if you have any questions for Dickie, you can get him on his Hotmail account. At Dickie Rodriguez is a fun guy who likes to have fun at hotmail.gov. Now back to our fog clearing here. As it points out, the continents were together. Now they're not. I don't believe that for a second. Geology, geography, these are two things made up by the government to kind of keep you spinning, keep that mind wheel spinning.
And they're the same thing.
Right. Geography is the study of geo. Geology is the analysis of geos. And no one even knows what those things are. So geo to me is Latin for earth. Earth is Latin for lie. So when you have a stunt moon and you have a stunt Earth, you have no one knows what's going on anymore. So you have all these continents spread out over time. How did that happen? No one knows, because it didn't happen. We are living on a fake Earth. The real Earth is a long way away, probably like 20, 30 miles outside of the regular moon that we have now. So what do? Do we go back to the real Earth? We can't, because the real Earth is inhabited by the rest of the lizard people / stunt actors that are living on the real Earth, because the fake Earth is the better one. Fake is better. That is what we're getting at. Fake is better. Sometimes fake is better.
Hashtag fake is better. Boy, all this fog clearing's really bringing me down. How about you, Tyson?
I feel it.
You know what's really good when there's too much fog around and you can't clear it all?
What's that?
Antidepressants. There's a new substance on the market called Happy.
It comes in a small blue pill weighing over 3 pounds. It's a suppository.
Wow, This reminds me of the old Flintstones vitamins from when we were kids.
All right, Dickie, bend over.
Hey, now I'm happy.
Now it's time for the final fog.
Final fog.
This is going to be a hot take, guys.
So here's an article. Let's see. It's titled, O'Rourke pens op-ed calling for Texas to lead the U.S. on criminal justice reform.
Right.
Why do we need to reform criminals? They're criminals, and they should stay that way, I think.
Well, the bad guys are bad guys, and good guys are good guys, and you know how this goes.
Yeah, keep it simple. U.S. Senate candidate Rep. Beto O'Rourke.
It's a made-up name.
Sounds like it. On Monday, urged Texas to lead the way in implementing a series of proposals to reform the criminal justice system. Mm-hmm. Here we go.
Okay.
In an op-ed for the Houston Chronicle, O'Rourke suggested eliminating private prisons in... Wait a second. Eliminating private prisons? I think prisons should be private, right?
Right. So what you're trying to tell me right now, Mr. O'Rourke, is that you're thinking that we should just open the doors of the prison, let the kids come in, let them play on the field with the rest of the gangbangers and methed out anti-Semites.
That's right. We need to keep the prisons private of all things. I mean, you keep your bathrooms private,
Yes, sir.
you know. You keep the nightclubs private. You're going to open up the doors of the prison and let kids walk in there and see what's going on? This reeks of fog, reeks right to the top. Let me just tell you what the plan is, okay? You can investigate this for yourself, and you should, but don't say I told you to do it. But look, the plan here is for the lizard people to have the children walk into the prisons and have the pedophiles just have a field day with them. That's what the lizards love to see. They want to turn the whole world into pedophiles. That's why they want the prisons to be public.
God, I'm raising you the right way. Now, I go to an O'Charlie's once a week, every week for the past 18 years.
Oh, I see where you're going.
And it takes me 30 minutes to get a spot because they know what table that Tyson Bricks uses. It's the back left corner. They know to go ahead and get my baked potato soup ready to go. Are you telling me that it's going to be quicker for me to go inside an open prison than it is to get my seat at O'Charlie's? Now, any child, they can go into a prison and just say, I heard this place was open. It's not a book fair. It's not a wiffle ball tournament for the boys and girls to play in. This is a place full of heathens, hedonistic, demonic demons, and monsters among men that rape and pillage and steal and kill. And now you're telling me, well, we don't want to make them, private anymore. We don't like for-profit, prisons. Well, here's a prophet, Jesus Christ. He said the same thing in the book of Bible that said, you will not and shall not open up this prison. Now, if you're going to argue with me, you're going to argue with God. And that's two things that will not happen on this show, is arguing with me and arguing with God.
Well said, Tyson. Well said. Let's keep the prisons private. Some things that go on there need to stay unseen. I've been in there, and I know, and there are things that happen to me there that stay unseen in my mind. So,
keep them closed.
Hashtag keep prisons private. Hashtag don't argue with the prophet.
And now, folks, ladies, guys, friends, people,
Dogs.
this ain't even turned on. God damn it, Dickie. You told me that this thing works.
Faith in the vape.
We're going to take another break here for one last word from our sponsors. And as always, stay paranoid, don't listen to your family, and murder your friends.
So look, I'm enjoying performing this episode of Fog Clearers as much as you are listening to it. But isn't it good to go outside every once in a while? Get into nature? Look up at the sky? No. This episode is brought to you by Stay Indoors, the app that entertains you so much you'll never want to leave your house again. Hashtag Stay Indoors. Stay indoors.
We want to thank everybody for listening to the first episode of our show. Again, that we really just want to make sure that everyone is aware that we are out to protect you, to protect your thoughts as well as your freedoms. And as long as me and Dickie are still alive, we will bring you the truth. We will clear the fog.
We work hard at this every day. It's because of listeners like you that we're able to clear the fog and help keep you paranoid. We'll be at our computers, our phones, and our libraries all day, every day to help keep you informed. Thank you, and keep listening, and don't forget to stay paranoid and angry.
Fog Clearers.
And now for some more rain.